Hello everybody, this is Animation 4, and I have a question for you. Have you ever felt getting around in Minecraft is boring? Like you hit forward and you go forward at a fairly slow pace, or you can hit control and you go a little bit faster, you can double tap forward, and that's about all you can do in terms of movement. Well, not anymore, because with the flip of this lever, getting around becomes a lot more interesting. Whoa, I now have slowness 4. How does that make things more interesting? I can barely move. Well, let me try to get to that fan over there. Woo! Now I'm really going. So it took me a while to get started, but now that I'm going, I really have some speed behind me. If I stop, I stop and have to regain my speed. So what this is, it's accelerated movement, pretty much. The faster you're going, the faster you can go. So it takes a while for you to get to your full speed. Another thing is sprinting. It isn't as easy as hitting control and going faster, because sprinting will give you a boost, but then will slow you down, because you get exhausted after you sprint, even if it's just that short distance. You go as fast as you possibly can for a little bit of time, but then you have to go back to regular movement. So, this is all there is to it pretty much, just these 11 command blocks on a timer. And how it works is, if I were to set display on the sidebar to sprint, or not sprint, to walk, it'll give me my distance walked, and as you could see, it's going up and going back down a lot. Right now it's 0, and then it's raising to like the 20s and the 40s, and now it's going up to the hundreds. So um, every pulse, which would be every 2 redstone ticks, it resets my walk score on one of these command blocks. This one. This is the last one to be executed out of this entire bunch. Let me just do this. This is the last one to be executed out of the entire bunch. So it figures out your walk score and gives you an effect after those 2 ticks, depending on how far you've gone. So if you've gone a little bit of distance, then you're not moving very fast, so you shouldn't be able to move very fast. If you haven't gone anything, then you're not moving, and it gives you the slowness 4. If you've gone 100 centimeters, which is what that's measured in, then it's going to be like, okay, you're moving pretty fast, and you get the speed, what is it, speed 3, I think? Now how it does it is, first, it takes away any effects you already had, which are these. Then the order of this is really weird, but it just goes by ranges. So if you're between 35 and 44, it gives you a slowness 1 effect. Or, yeah, slowness 1. This one will give you a slowness 0 for just 1 second, because it'll get cleared the next second, and if this turns off, then you don't want to be slowed still. This will give you a slowness 3 if you have walked less than 24. And if you've walked at least 60, then it gives you speed. If you've walked at least 70, it gives you more speed. And the reason the lower ones have to use ranges while the upper ones just have to use at least 60, at least 70, is because the lower ones are giving you less of an effect. So if I had speed 4 and I gave myself speed 3, that would do nothing because I already had speed 4. So the lower ones have to have ranges, but if I had speed 2 and I gave myself speed 3, I'd then have speed 3 instead. So that's why the upper ones can do that, but the lower ones can't. In terms of sprinting, every other redstone tick, this gets activated, which sets anyone with a sprint score of at least 1, which is how far you've sprinted. And I will objective set display sidebar sprint. See, I'm not sprinting, but now I am sprinting. So if your sprint score is at least 1, which means you're sprinting, then every other redstone tick, it'll reset your walk score without giving you any new effects. So basically it's cutting the distance the system thinks you've walked in half. So instead of going 100, you've now gone 50. Which is bad for your speed, because 100 is like max speed, while 50 is halfway. and this sets everyone's sprint score back to 0, so it doesn't always think you're sprinting. And well, that's pretty much how it works. It's pretty simple, just effects based on your scores, and it uses scoreboard objectives. I did add walk stat. That's stat dot walk 1 centimeter, and for sprint, stat dot sprint 1 centimeter. And yeah, it's really fun if you do it on ice. So let me not sprint. Yeah, you will occasionally get those flashes, but they go away pretty fast. If you try to go around tight corners, it's actually kind of challenging because you drift a little bit. So yeah, this could be fun for anything where speed is involved, or you need some kind of racing, or basically anything where there's movement. You can now change it to accelerated movement, and changes everything up quite a bit because you could sprint and get a little bit of extra speed, but then you slow down. So if you're chasing behind someone, you just tap that Q button and you can catch back up, but then you start falling behind. So it really changes getting around in Minecraft. Yeah, like everything else I do, just depends on what you want to use it for, but it works and it's pretty fun. I don't know, maybe play tag with it. That'd be pretty interesting. But has a lot of potential. And that's going to be it. Thanks so much for watching.